What's going on, folks? Welcome to the show. Tuesday night. Get those waiver wire claims set. Probably a light week of waiver wiring for you, unless you're in shallower leagues. But we are here. Dan Schneier is here. What's up? I'm Adam Azer. Dan, good evening, Dan Schneier.
How you doing, Adam? Always love to hear from you, your cheerful self. And we're having a good day today, so let's keep it going.
We are. Why are we having a good day?
It's another week where the Giants won the game, and they're 2-0 right now. So
I got to tell you, every freaking league I'm in, Dan Schneier is 2-0. It's
like, that is true, by the way. That is very true. He's not just saying that.
Oh, what happened? Your mic got muted. I didn't do that. I did not mute your mic.
I got too excited.
The fact remains, I am 2-0 in a lot of leagues right now that me and Adam are in. I have Amon-Ra St. Brown in basically every one of those leagues. So just let's keep going.
That'll do it. Yep. All right. So let's get your questions here. We've got an hour or so to answer your questions. So let's get started. Fab question. Is $41 too much for Garrett Wilson? I'm going to assume that's out of $100. So is 41% too much for Garrett Wilson?
I say no. I really like Garrett Wilson right now. I think, look, he was a top 10 pick for a reason. He's got the talent. He wins in contested catch situations, unbelievable body control on back shoulder type stuff. And most importantly, they're utilizing him in the red zone a lot. So the answer for me is no. And by the way, I love the name McGruber. Have you seen the movie? Have you seen that movie, Adam?
I love that movie.
Okay, good. Because I freaking love that movie. It's one of the rare movies I've seen. It's stupid humor, but I find it hilarious.
I quote that movie all the time, and I'd love to quote it now, but I get fired because every line is just
not every line. The line where he's in, where they're looking. We're not going to veer off too much, but I'm going to get this quick one in. The line where he's in the trunk and he's looking for that, and he's like, "Oh, it must be that." And then he says, and then the guy says the line, and McGruber goes, it's like echoes him and goes, "I got that at the same time, if not slightly faster than you." It's one of my favorite lines. Got the same time, if not slightly before.
It's such a good. It's one of the most underrated movies.
So good.
All right, we got a 10-team league for Corey here. He's 0-2. How much fab for Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave? I think, by the way, 41% of your budget is too much for Garrett Wilson personally.
Okay.
I still think Elijah Moore is too good. He's not just going to go away. I think the Jets, I know the Jets have thrown 15 more passes than any other team.
That won't keep up.
Right. Maybe they'll be very pass heavy, but that won't keep up. I am very nervous about what Zach Wilson means for this offense.
True.
You know, some of the quarterbacks that we saw in the preseason that just looked terrible in the preseason, 3 that come to mind. There's only one drive basically for Zach Wilson, but he looked terrible. Trey Lance, and we didn't get to see how he would mature, but he looked bad obviously in week 1. And Davis Mills. Davis Mills looked terrible in the preseason. He still looks bad. So I'm just too nervous about about Zach Wilson to go 40% on Garrett Wilson. My answer to this question in a 10-team league is very low. I don't think these guys are must-haves in 10-team leagues. I think Wilson, I'll give Wilson that. Like 10-team 3 receiver, sure. 10-team 2 receiver and a flex, I'm thinking 15%. And the only reason I'd say that is because, you don't need as much fab. You don't need to save your fab in 10-team leagues, I think.
True.
I'm not going big on these guys in 10-team leagues.
I think Adam sold a good case here. I take back my yes to the 41% or the $41 out of 100.
Yeah, and I would also agree with this comment here. We don't have to get into this every day.
Ramiro? What are we talking about, dude? Like, I just don't understand it. I'm looking at the 2 right now. Look at that. His hair is disheveled. It's curly in the front. Look at this. This is a flow we got going right here. I just don't get it. I don't know where it's coming from. I'll never understand it.
Dan's hair looks the same every single day.
Yeah, and that's a good thing.
No, there's nothing good about that. Like, I admire his character. Thank you, Ramiro. I appreciate that. Grade the trade. A.J. Brown, Breece Hall, and Garrett Wilson for Mike Williams and Joe Mixon.
A.J. Brown, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson. He gets Mike Williams. I like the Mike Williams mix inside for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to give that a B+. It's a really good one.
Yeah. I never know if they're talking about they're giving up the player or getting. I wish it was a little more clear, but if you are getting the Williams Mixon, I'll even go up to A-.
I always interpret it as I'm giving for this. What was I going to say? I did watch Breece Hall's snaps, and he looked great. So hopefully it's a start of things to come for him. He lost his passing downs role to Ty Johnson, as you may have heard on Beyond the Box Score. But he looked really good in limited action. And they used it actually on 2 end-arounds. which was interesting. What is Alvin Kamara's value? It's a great question. I think a lot of people are very down on Alvin Kamara. I think if you can trade someone you got in the 3rd round or later for Alvin Kamara, unless it's like a Monroe St. Brown, unless like a true breakout, then no. But I still like Kamara. He's going to be the number 1 guy for them when he gets healthy, which hopefully will be this week. What do you think? What's the value for Kamara?
Yeah, Camara was a player I wasn't high on coming into the season. For me, he just hasn't been the same value in fantasy since losing Drew Brees. I know they're still going to throw to him, but with the injury situation, with the way that Saints offensive line has not blocked the way we expected it to after losing Terron Armstead, and obviously they drafted a 1st-round left tackle to replace him, and he's injured. So I don't know. I just don't love this Saints offense right now for the run game. So I could still value him in like that, RB2 range, but I wouldn't go crazy to buy low here.
Okay. Let's see. What's up? What are we talking about here? It's a great question. Is Marlon Mack worth a stash in a half PPR 12-team league?
12-team, no, but probably not. No shot.
I think if it comes down to Marlon Mack, they're just not going to have a very good run game at all. That's my take on that. I mean, because Tyrion Davis-Price, maybe he misses a month. So you're telling me Jeff Wilson has to get hurt in the next 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's more than that. I don't know. I'm sorry. Yeah. So I'm sorry. I'm actually talking to someone about the Giants game on Monday. Dan and I are both going to be there. So I want to see if anybody here is going to be at that game. You send me a tweet. Let's meet up. I'd love to meet y'all. Yeah, I'm not.
Are you coming to my tailgate? I don't have one specifically, but it's a tailgate I'm going to that I was invited to, that you're now invited to. Okay.
I'd love to go to your tailgate.
Good.
If I can,
Adam only met once in person, and he doesn't remember it, though I vividly remember it. And now, who's the better friend?
If I could trade for Leonard Fournette or James Conner, who would you give up? Cortland Sutton or Christian Kirk?
If I could trade for Leonard Fournette or James Conner, Fournette and Kirk.
For Fournette, yeah. Good one.
I don't know, man. Kirk, I like Christian Kirk right now in fantasy. I'm kicking myself for not getting enough shares of Christian Kirk.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy with what we're seeing there. We might owe him a big apology for crapping on that contract, but
right.
Still, I definitely give him up for Fournette. I'm not touching. I'd like Connor. A little worried, I don't like to trade for injured guys.
Already injured, and he has an injury history.
Leonard Fournette or Austin Eckler? Good question.
Rest of season, or is this for just this week? I'm assuming it's rest of season, and then my answer is Eckler.
Yeah, Eckler
for sure for me.
Yeah.
You're out on Eckler or no?
No, okay. I'm not. But Fournette, Fournette was a star last year, and he's still the clear-cut number 1 guy with basically no competition.
Yes,
for the Bucs.
But they do have so many injuries on that offensive line right now and at receiver. It just impacts the entire offense for me.
Yeah, I don't love what we've seen from Eckler so far. I think things will change.
Right.
But Eckler really hasn't been great, and he had so much of his work in week 2 in the frantic, final minutes of that game, final drive of that game for the Chargers. Both of you having great hair days. Yeah, that's 50% true. Who's a better long-term stash, Wentz or Tua?
Tua, without a doubt in my mind.
I agree. I'll tell you what. If Wentz has a good game in week 3, I'm going to have to really reassess. I have a lot of respect for the Eagles defense, and I think they're kind of a bad matchup because what they did last year was they didn't give up big plays. They gave up basically the second fewest 20-plus yard pass attempts or pass completions or 25-plus yard. They just don't give up big plays. They're at it again this year. So, Wentz is a guy who wants to throw the ball downfield. I think this is a bad matchup for him. I'm still starting Wentz over Tom Brady this week. Unless miraculously Mike Evans plays, then maybe I'll change my mind. But I'm starting Wentz over Brady, probably some other guys. But I would rather have Tua long term. If Wentz can do it again this week, then maybe I'll have to buy in. But I feel like I'm the last guy to buy in on Wentz, Dan.
I think you're probably right there with me. I haven't bought in yet either, and I think you nailed this one. It's a horrific matchup for Wentz this week. Jonathan Gannon, the Eagles defensive coordinator, is the king of 2 high safeties. Keep everything in front of you, so everything is funneled underneath in that defense, and that is not a good recipe for a quarterback like Carson Wentz.
All right, grade the trade. Najee Harris for Cortland Sutton.
So he gets Sutton, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this is such a Dan Schneider trade right here. He locks up Sutton, St. Brown, Pittman, Jefferson, just winning every single receiver in flex position. Full PPR. Love the trade. I know you don't like this, but why? What is good about Najee right now?
Not much right now. Except
what's going to get better?
One game he caught a touchdown. One game he had 5 catches.
He's also a bad step away from re-aggravating that foot injury and missing time. This would be a no-brainer for me if not. And if Judy misses any week, Sutton is like potentially a top 5, top 6 receiver, right?
I just don't I mean, unless it's the foot. The foot injury to me is the only justification I think for trading work, because like all you see on this guy's team is who his other wide receivers are, and he already has Jefferson, Pittman, and St. Brown. Who are his running backs?
There's also a flex, though. There's a flex. There's Jefferson, Pittman, St. Brown starting.
You don't know that it's a 3-receiver flex league.
I know.
Flex league.
You're right.
This philosophy, I know you're 2-0 and you're
everywhere,
and you can't be beat, but you have to start running backs.
Win the flex before you worry about the running back 2 spot. Win the flex, and this is probably his running back 1.
It's a first-round pick. It's Najee Harris. I'm not quite there.
Be a first-round pick on any of my teams.
Start 2 in full PPR. CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Jeff Wilson, and Drake London. Ooh, I'm not quite ready for
what?
For week 3 starter sit.
Yeah, but I think I can just look at this bad boy and go Drake London and CeeDee Lamb or CeeDee Lamb. Do I even want that? It's definitely Drake London for me. That's the one I like here the most. It's full PPR, so I'm definitely not playing Wilson. It's probably going to be London and Cooks.
I think I'm going to stick with CeeDee Lamb.
Okay.
Did you see who Adoree Jackson shadowed, by the way?
Yeah, everyone expected it to be DJ Moore, but it actually wasn't. It was Robbie Anderson.
He shadowed Robbie Anderson. Yeah. I don't know if he'll shadow CeeDee Lamb. I don't think he will.
Probably not.
What happened to that YouTube poll with the Oreos?
Yeah, I really want to get that back up because there's a clear, definitive answer, and if you don't, there's one right, one wrong.
Schaefer, can we get that poll back
also,
up?
Schaefer, I feel like one of the options you put in there is like not even a top 20 option. I mean, who has mint? I like mint Oreos because I'm a mint guy, a mint chocolate guy, but that's not a popular Oreo option. Like mint.
Yeah. I had to add that to see who the psychopaths are.
Okay.
You know?
Well played, Tom.
You really all right. So throw that poll back up. But honestly, you get back on here, Schaefer. I got to talk to you about your YouTube poll, because I think you missed the most obvious ones. The question was, what's the best type of Oreo? I don't even think you had original Oreo in there.
But original's not good.
Yeah,
like if you ever go original over double stuff, it's a horrific decision.
I only had 4 options to put in, and I figured that's like the that's the standard Oreo. I was gonna throw in Thins. My girlfriend loves the Oreo Thins.
Good.
So I'll go back and readjust. I put Halloween orange on there because we're getting into the season, and that didn't really do well. So I'll adjust.
What the heck is an Oreo Thin, by the way?
Oh, they're very good. They're better than the original Oreos.
What? They're just smaller Oreos.
No, they're crispier. They're a crispy Oreo.
What kind of ripoff is this? I want more Oreo, not less.
It's a crispy Oreo. And let me tell you my weird Oreo take. First of all, I only eat the double stuff, and within that, I do a Teddy KGB from Rounders, and I unravel the Oreo, and I throw out the top. I only eat a cookie and the cream. Like I only eat one cookie of the sandwich. That's how I eat my Oreos.
What do you do with the other half?
Throw it in the garbage.
What a waste!
And I don't really like the cookie part that much. It's all like about the inside.
It's like the Seinfeld with the muffin stump.
Yes, exactly. The muffin tops.
I don't know.
And I think the thin Oreos are like diet Oreos, right?
Yeah, you know what? Like Definian is definitively correct here. Honestly, I don't know how you can say you like Oreos when you clearly don't like the cookie. You just like the cream. Yeah. It's a ridiculous thing. All right, who are some dynasty wide receiver trade targets for Cordarrelle Patterson or Jeff Wilson?
Right. So you can't go too high here. What you're going to look to do is target second-year receivers who haven't made much progress yet. Kadarius Toney is a good option here, a risky one, but a high upside option here. You can't go for Bateman or Eli Moore. They're probably a little too far out of your price range. I could even settle in on a guy like Alec Pierce, by the way. I would say rookies or second-year receivers who first to third round draft capital in the NFL draft who haven't quite broken out yet.
You are getting crushed. Buys Oreos to eat frosting. Dan with terrible Oreo take.
It's not a bad Oreo take. It's a great take.
It's not it's not bad. It's terrible. Michael's right. Who should I flex this week? CeeDee Lamb against the Giants, James Robinson against the Chargers, or Jeff Wilson against Denver? I'm gonna go Lamb.
Half PPR Lamb, I guess. I almost want to go Robinson, but Chargers are too good on D, so give me Lamb.
Their run defense might not be, but
it's not right. But
Dan, that Oreo thin take, I award you no points, and God have mercy on your soul.
That's a great movie.
Yeah,
that one I've seen.
Aaron Jones or Leonard Fournette rest of season.
I still think those Oreo thins are pretty good and crispy, but I'm gonna go with Aaron Jones based on all the injuries that have gone down again to the offensive line with the Bucs, and then at that receiver position.
Is Tyler Algier worth a stash in half PPR? What are you drinking?
This is a Trader Joe's seltzer with lemon and ginger juice. 0 calories, 0 sugar.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Is Tyler Algier worth a stash in half PPR?
Not for me. Algier was not a player that I liked evaluating the film of. I saw him as a Jag prospect at best. What is he splitting some carries last week with Cordero Patterson? No role in the passing game. Low ceiling offense. I don't want to stash him. No.
Yeah, he's pretty low end. I think he'd have to be pretty bad shape. Trevor Lawrence or Jared Goff rest of season?
Great question. Like both of these quarterbacks a lot. I'm going to go with Lawrence because I think they're a much more pass-heavy offense. I love what Doug Peterson, Lawrence in week 2 took a step. Everyone who watched that game can tell that he took a big step. And that's just going to get better and better working with Doug Peterson, a really, really good quarterback coach.
I could see Goff better this week against Detroit. Lawrence getting the Chargers. Sorry, not against Detroit. Against Minnesota.
Minnesota, yep, for sure.
Chargers might just be a really tough matchup for all quarterbacks. Mahomes wasn't great. But, yeah, I'm going to go Lawrence rest of season. And I think you'll see more rushing from him at some point. I hope anyway.
Lions money line this week, by the way.
What are the odds?
They're 7.5-point dogs. I haven't seen the money line
yet.
It's way too much.
Yeah, that is. All right, full PPR. I have Derek Carr starting. Okay. I have an offer for Dylan in London for Jalen Hurts.
So he's starting Carr. He's giving up Dylan in London for Hurts here. I can stack my team and trade London for Eckler. Oh, no, he's getting London. What the? So he was starting Carr over Hurts? Is that? No. But he says I can stack.
He says I have Barkley, Mixon, Chubb. And
or I could stack my team and trade London and Eckler.
You can try a second. You can trade London for Eckler. I mean, who makes that trade? Of course, trade London for Eckler.
Yeah, that's the end. Yeah.
I also think that Jalen Hurts is so good that Dylan for London would be a fine trade for him, but I'd much rather do London for Eckler.
Yes, agreed.
Okay.
On both accounts.
Derrick Henry and Damian Pierce for Joe Mixon, 10-team half PPR.
I would take Henry and Pierce. So no. I mean, look, I don't know. I got to think about that. Right now, there's disappointment across the board with both the Titans run blocking and the Bengals run blocking. On the flip side of that, the Bengals at least have guys I believe in can get better on the offensive line. The Titans are starting Petit for right tackle, who's clearly not ready, and a left guard that's like 280 pounds. So I lean back to I might do that trade.
Yeah, I think in a 12-team league, I'm less likely to do it because you're probably going to be starting Pierce in a 10-team league. You know, if Pierce is kind of expendable, then I definitely make this trade.
I like that.
Gotta dunk Oreos in milk.
Yes.
Why don't you just take the cream and put it in your milk?
No, so here's the deal. When I do dunk it, when I have a glass of milk to enjoy my Oreos with, I will dunk the full cookie. I won't take the top off. But having said that, I don't really get that opportunity anymore, Adam, because people of our faith have problems digesting dairy.
What?
You don't?
I do not.
Okay, that's a common thing with the people with our blood types, or I don't even know what it is.
You mean fantasy football fans?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Fantasy football fans, sure. So I have issues with dairy, Adam. So wow. I have made the full transition to oat milk.
Oh, that's terrible. What a way to live.
It's what I have to do.
I'm sorry.
Black coffee and oat milk.
Don't you have some weird vision thing too?
No, I got LASIK.
Colorblind. You're colorblind. That's right.
No, I am colorblind though. That is true.
Yeah.
I can't believe you knew that. I don't even know when I told you that.
I just think it's so lame.
Great. I had full control over that one. Both of them.
I'm also kind of colorblind, but I don't think as bad as you.
Okay.
ETN for Akers. Would you make that trade?
No shot.
Out of ETN.
I mean, I don't love either, but I definitely would prefer ETN.
All right, from Deluxe, who should I bench this week?
Mm-hmm.
Najee, Dalvin Cook, Gibson, or Garrett Wilson?
Part of me wants to slam this home with Najee Harris. I won't, just because Jadeveon Clowney is out, and just kind of would be a little bit of a brag. It's like throwing it in Adam's face from our Najee conversation earlier. It's a little too aggressive. Don't bench him, right? But I don't know who else I want to bench here over him in a full PPR. I guess maybe Wilson, but with Flacco playing again, I don't know. Gibson,
I'm gonna bench Garrett Wilson.
Really? In a full PPR?
Yeah. It's I don't think it's a slam dunk. It's either him or Gibson.
I think I bench Najee.
That's fine. I mean, he's not doing that much. I can't.
They don't do much. The Steelers. They don't move the ball at all.
Yeah, I have some stats on them. Hold on.
Yeah, bring them up.
Mitchell Trubisky has attempted 4 passes in the red zone. It's bad. Unfortunately, so has Tom Brady. In 2 games, the Steelers offense has generated 267 and 243 total yards.
Oh.
They have had fewer than 27 minutes of possession in both games. There are only 2 teams that have gained fewer total yards than the Steelers. Can you guess who they are?
2. Wow, that's a great question. 2 teams have gained fewer. Are the Panthers one of them?
No.
Okay. Wow, because
they're both in the NFC though.
Both in the NFC, fewer yards. Let's see. No one from the no, not the Giants. They had a decent amount of yards.
They both have played the 49ers.
I could just think of the Seahawks. Because they're running like 46 plays a game on average, so they're obviously not going to get any yards there. Who's the other really bad team? I think it's from the north. It's the Bears for sure.
Yeah, Bears and Seahawks. The only 2 teams with fewer yards than Steelers. And only one team has averaged fewer yards per play. I won't make Dan guess. It is the Texans. Texans are the worst at yards per play.
I could not be more happier than across the board with all 16 leagues that we're in, 8 via work. I don't have a single share of a single player on any of those 3 teams except for Khalil Herbert, and Kenneth Walker is just dart throws.
That's good. I definitely have.
Who do you have? You probably don't have much
Metcalf in one league. But no, I have very little. I don't know if I have any Brandon Cooks.
Mooney might be the only interesting one.
Mooney I have in a best ball.
Yeah.
Why aren't the Pats using Ramondre Stevenson more?
Yeah, it's a good question. We all thought, obviously, once Ty Montgomery went on IR, it was going to be Stevenson time. I just think right now they're still trying to figure out the offensive identity with what they have going on there with Matt Patricia and Joe Judge running an offense. I just think that it's going to take time. I don't know for sure if it's ever going to get there, that offense.
I want to see. I feel like I already looked this up, but
he was on the field a lot. He's just not getting used.
The routes run.
Yeah.
From week 2. Just want to take a look at that. Routes. It was Myers 32, Aguilar 29. Stevenson ran 23 routes.
Yeah.
And Damian Harris ran 9.
It's not bad.
So they're not throwing it to him. He's not a clearly better running back than Damian Harris. I mean, Damian Harris has had a nice career so far. Yeah. Ramondre Stevenson's longest run of 2021 was 21 yards. He's not explosive, so I'm not sure that he's earned more carries. Not more than
Harris.
Not more than Harris, yeah. All right. Swift or Jamar Chase, non-PPR.
Swift for me, and I can't believe it, but wait, hold on. I got to rethink this for a quick second. Yeah, Swift. I can't believe I'm saying it. I can't believe I'm going a running back. It is non-PPR, and just what that Lions offensive line has done is just so outstanding to me. And they did it one of those games against a pretty good Eagles defense, like you said, Adam, that have a pretty good defensive front. The Eagles. I mean, they're just chewing up yards on the ground right now.
Yeah. Oh boy, if he could just get the workload we love.
Right.
He's not RB1.
Would you do that? Would you do that, Adam? Because it's probably a more unorthodox trade to give up Chase. First of all, you should definitely ask for more. You'll probably get more. If you're dangling Chase, you could get Swift and something and a receiver, I think.
It's non-PPR, so I favor running backs. I think it's fine. Yeah, I guess I would do that. I don't really have this concern, but it is worth mentioning that when Chase has been a lot better with T. Higgins off the field than with him on the field, and if you saw what happened in week 1 compared to week 2, Higgins is the thing that could hold Chase back from being truly, truly league winning rather than just awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, first a waiver question here. Not a lot of waiver questions, and I get that. Not the most exciting waiver wire week. We would love you to hit the like button, though. Please hit like. Chris is a sad Cole Kmet manager. Should he claim Logan Thomas or Evan Ingram?
It's going to be Evan Ingram for me. I always chase the targets. I always chase the volume. Did you see Ingram last week? They got him. They made a clear effort to get him involved. I believe 7 targets on the day. Thomas is
week 1.
I'm sorry.
See him in week 1?
Yeah, he's not a good player.
Go Logan Thomas. All right,
really?
Fine. Go Ingram.
With Samuel, Dotson, and McLaurin taking away targets, I just don't see it for Thomas.
I just don't believe in Evan Ingram. Logan Thomas.
I don't either. It's not a pretty situation.
Yeah. And I would normally, a lot of times I'd be like, just stick with Cole Kmet, but I don't believe that either. I think I did put in a claim for Logan Thomas dropping Cole Kmet. What does NGL mean?
Not gonna lie.
Oh, I've benched the Bucks D the last 2 weeks. I'm on the not gonna lie. They're really good. They're really good.
Yep.
Now, I don't know what to tell you this week because
they've been stacking linemen in the drafts. That's the key thing here. And like Adam said, the coverage is great too. They're just Todd Bowles taking over head coach, running an unreal defense. Yeah. I
don't think they're going to be good this week.
I
don't think they're going to be bad, but it's going to be a lot of running.
Good. Yeah, it is going to be a lot of running. That does limit your upside as a defense. You're right.
And Akeem Hicks is out about 4 weeks.
That's a problem. He's a beast.
And Rodgers never throws interceptions, basically. So
yep, that's all fair takes.
But you don't have to sit them. You don't have to roster 2 DSTs. If you want to just keep the Bucks, just keep the Bucks. They're so good. Checking in on the poll, what's the best Oreo type? Double stuff with a 5% lead over original, and those two running away. 44% double stuff, 49% original. Original's so good. It's a classic. It's just a classic.
Nearly as good as double stuff. It's not even like close.
You know what?
I'm stunned by this poll. To be completely honest with you, I thought everyone agreed double stuff was the way to go.
Well, that you don't talk to anyone. Like you're not a man of the people. You don't know anybody's Oreo takes. So Schaefer, if you could maybe do another poll, what just a 2-part poll, 2 options. Best part of the Oreo, cookie or cream?
Yeah, I would like to know that too.
Let's see what people say. All right,
we will.
Let's see.
It's like a paper thin chalky cookie. That's not a good cookie.
I don't understand who comes on the show and says they love Oreos when you hate half the Oreo.
No, you still need that chocolatey flavor to mix in with the cream and give you that flavor complexion. But the best part, what's good about that is the cream.
I disagree. We'll see what the people say. You don't know anything about the people.
Adam Mazer, man of the people.
I am a man of the people who never leaves his house. What is Kyler Murray's trade value in a super flex league? I need a running back. Kyler, it's a first round.
You're not trading him. You're not trading Kyler Murray in a super flex league. Just figure out running back. Don't worry about it too much. Pick up I don't know, Jeff Wilson. It's too late for him. Maybe pick up some Tyrion Davis-Price for later. Shuttle in the Gainwells of the world and all the receiving backs who've been dumped on the waiver wire. Don't worry about that.
It's Jonathan Taylor. It's Jonathan Taylor. If you want to trade,
but don't even do that. Just take the 3 to 5 points at running back a week. You're not going to get killed.
Or if you can pick up Jimmy Garoppolo and then trade Kyler for Jonathan Taylor, then I'd be okay with that.
I guess.
I didn't realize that you play in leagues where there's just no running back pool.
No, there's a running back. You got to start him. You just don't really worry about it, Adam. You just take what you get, and you worry about scoring a ton of points at the other positions.
This is a tough one here. Would you drop Darnell Mooney for Treylon Burks?
And by the way, that's not my full strategy. I am a hero running back builder. I just want to make that clear. But anyway, move back forward to this. Mooney for Treylon Burks. That is a really interesting one. I like Burks' role. I like it evolving, but I have my issues with that Titans offense in general, as well as obviously the Bears offense. I think there's more room for growth for the Bears offense, though. So I would not do this. Would you, Adam?
Yeah, so. I actually
would. Wow.
I might be dumb, but I really like Treylon Burks, and it's only going to get better for him. I'm happy he didn't go off against the Bills, which was unlikely anyway, and you know what? I don't even know if I'd checked his snap count. I assume it went way up.
I didn't see it.
I'm excited about him, and I'm going to call him a buy low on the show tomorrow again for the second straight week. He was up from 37% of the snaps to 45% of the snaps.
Mhm.
That's a little disappointing, but look what he's doing. I mean, he's caught 7 of 11 targets. What are his averages? He's averaging 9.3 yards per target, 14.6 yards per catch. He is clearly their best guy.
He's got a good solid A-dot too. Yeah.
I would do it. I would do it.
Yep.
All right. Christian Kirk for Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, that's an A.
100%. You make that trade. You get Fournette.
It's that kind of trade you want.
Who would you sit? CeeDee Lamb, Deontay Johnson, or Brandon Cooks?
Deontay Johnson for me.
Yep, I agree.
I think that game's going to finish like 9-7.
Thursday night is, we'll be watching, but
we don't want to be. Just kidding. I love all football. I literally could watch any game.
I do love all football, but I'm just not excited at all for that game.
I'm not excited, but I still will enjoy it somehow.
Yeah, it'll deliver. Favorite IR spot player to hold? I picked up Elijah Mitchell.
Well, I'm going to say this before we answer this question. Gabriel, you're lucky that I will answer this still, but please, folks, hit the like button, all right? Thomas Schaefer over there, he's working hard behind the scenes. He's crying. He's crying in his room because there's not enough like buttons being hit right now. Hit the like button, smash it, subscribe, share it with your friends. Put Thomas back in the good mood he was in before we started the show. Please hit that like button to get your questions in. And we won't answer another one until you start hitting that like button. But Gabriel, you got it in before the buzzer, so you're grandfathered in. Favorite IR player spot to hold? It's going to be...
it's Brian Robinson for me.
Brian Robinson. I needed time to think about it. No. It's still Jameson Williams for me.
Okay. That's fair. That he'd be number 2. Mitchell would be number 3, but he's a long ways away. I do think that you should consider Gus Edwards. He's last of this group, but I can't tell you what's going to happen with J.K. Dobbins. He continues to be week to week. He practices. They don't play him. I hope he plays this week. I don't know what to expect. Gus Edwards, when he went on IR, he said he'd be back soon. So I guess my top 4 would be Robinson, Williams. Dan would switch those. Mitchell 3, Gus 4.
Okay.
I think YouTube is broken because the poll results are obviously incorrect. Something happened.
I knew I was right about this. This was so obvious.
55% cream, 45% cookie. Best part of the Oreo.
45% cookie. This should be like 5% or lower. We are talking about the same Oreo cookie I'm thinking of, right? That paper thin, chalky tasting, terrible cookie with no moisture. Like,
you're buying the Oreo for the cream.
Yes, obviously.
You're not.
If you just sold the Oreo cookies, right, without the cream, that would be one of the worst cookies sold on store in the store by far.
Who buys cream? It needs to be a cookie. It needs something.
No, of course, that's what the cookie's there for. Well, of course, the cookie mixes in with the cream. It's the complement to the cream. But
yeah, it's the most important part. You can't have an Oreo without the cream, without the cookie.
No, it's not. I can buy chocolate chips.
Don't worry about what I just said, Tom. Thomas, don't even worry about it.
I wish I heard what you said.
I said the wrong thing. I said cream instead of cookie.
Okay.
Fig Newton. Oh, Fig Newtons. Are you get out of here?
They're not bad. I'm actually weirdly, I do kind of like Fig Newtons. They're
fine, but that's because almost every cookie is good. But
the best cookies by far are Tate's. Can we agree on that? Tate's cookies are by far the best.
Tate's are great. I don't know if they're better than Milano's, but
better than Milano's for sure. Because you know why? Tate's does exactly what you need to do in a cookie. It bakes in that buttery taste that you get from the homemade batches of cookies. It's the closest to mimic, and it's crispy. All about crisp.
All right, we'll fire through some questions here since we've been a little goofy tonight. I'm 0-2 in a 12-team league. Should I panic and trade my late season upside? Breece Hall, Ken Walker, Chris Godwin, Brian Robinson, Damian Pierce.
I hate panic trades. I wouldn't trade Hall. I wouldn't trade Godwin. Under any circumstances, I'd be open to trading Brian Robinson for sure. Open to trading Pierce for sure. If you can still find someone who likes him, I'd be open to trading Walker too. They just don't run enough plays.
I think, Walker, Robinson, Pierce are definitely tradable. Godwin, no way. He's at the lowest point of his value. Hall, on the other hand, might be at the peak of his value because people still have a lot of faith in him to take over the job. But I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, it could go either way. I could certainly see a scenario where Michael Carter just never relinquishes it, and it's just like Javonte last year where you're waiting and it never happens. So if you're 0-2 and you really can turn Breece Hall into something start-worthy right now, I'm okay with it. Yeah, look, it might be bad at the end of the year, but you got to start winning. 0-3 is tough, not impossible, but 0-3 is tough. Rest of season, Jared Goff or Jameis Winston?
Jared Goff.
Okay, I got no problem with that. I'd take Winston, but would you start Zeke at the Giants or Isaiah McKenzie?
Zeke. I was so disappointed with McKenzie last night without Gabe Davis.
Yeah. Doesn't have a good enough quarterback. I got offered Breece Hall.
What?
It's a joke.
Okay.
I got offered Breece Hall and Michael Thomas for Mike Williams and Brian Robinson.
No, but I don't mind it because you're buying the potential fantasy playoffs boom from Breece Hall, which you're never going to get from Brian Robinson. He could be a difference maker, but I just like Mike Williams way too much more than Michael Thomas.
We're going to have to come back to this one. Come back to that one.
Ooh.
Grade the trade. Give up Najee Harris and Gabriel Davis for Alvin Kamara and Deebo Samuel. Yeah, I'll do that. I like that.
I'll probably do that, especially full PPR.
Yeah, you get the two best running backs in the deal, Kamara and Deebo.
Yeah.
Where's my
Nice.
All right, this has been asked like 6 times. I probably didn't read it because I didn't like the punctuation.
What are we uncovering code here?
0 for yes and 1 for no, Dan. I'll take Freiermuth.
Yeah. Yes. That's actually exactly what I'd take.
Okay. I've got Brandon Cooks, Mike Williams, and Deontay Johnson as starters.
Okay.
London, Curtis Samuel, and Burks on the bench. Who should I trade for either a stronger wide receiver or tight end?
Okay. I have Ertz now. He's looking for a strong. I think the best player to try to deal here would be either London or Samuel. London, I just like too much long term that I don't want to trade him, but he's at a nice peak right now as far as trading goes. Samuel is in a really good spot for trades right now. So one of those two.
The only trade I would make is a wide receiver and Ertz for Kelsey or Andrews. I don't know if you can pull that off.
Whoa. Oh, wow. You're talking about those top end guys. I was thinking maybe like Samuel and Ertz for like an upgrade at receiver.
I actually really like Ertz. And I like, I think he's probably a top 5 tight end until Hopkins gets back, which is 4 more games.
Right.
He seems to be Kyler Murray's favorite end zone target. He's undeniably involved. Whoa, you all right there? Whoa. Oh, boy. He's had a little bit too much seltzer, folks. So I would aim high, but I wouldn't give up Mike Williams and Ertz personally because I actually don't really like your receivers that much. But okay, would you trade Cortland? What happened? You all right there?
Give me a few more seconds to settle.
You spit on your lap?
These crazy Tuesday night streams.
Would you trade Sutton? Yes, I'd trade Sutton for Fournette.
Yeah.
With all these,
I don't know. I don't know if I'm definitely doing
trade
it.
Sutton for Fournette.
It's not an of course. It's just not an of course. It's not, especially it's this full PPR. 1, 2. Is Jerry Jeudy going to be out? Are you going to if Jerry Judy's out? Sutton is a target hog.
Look, that's great. Leonard Fournette is a first-round caliber running back,
and Sutton can't be a first-round caliber receiver. Can Sutton not be a first-round caliber receiver?
If Judy's out for the season, then maybe. If not,
Judy's probably fine. So I agree.
Okay, and he's not going to be out for the season. So, I just don't understand this Leonard Fournette hate.
No, I like Leonard Fournette. He's one of the only backs I like.
Why is everybody trading for Leonard Fournette? Why is Leonard Fournette even available?
Probably because of these injuries on the Bucs O-line and how bad that offense has looked.
Maybe, but he's a hot commodity in my opinion. Would you drop Darrell Henderson or Jeff Wilson for Garrett Wilson?
No.
Yeah, I would not. Would you trade Jeff Wilson for Chris Olave?
Only if you have running backs. Only if you're fine at the RB2 spot.
If Keenan Allen starts this week, would you start him or St. Brown?
Wow. You're in a great spot when you can even ask that question and one can belong on your bench. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I would go St. Brown.
Yeah, I think he's earned that. Chargers against the Jaguars.
I don't think Keenan's going to play anyway, so.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have to make that call. Well, actually, hopefully I have a lot of Keenan Allen, so. How about dynasty trade?
Love it.
Aaron Jones, Amari Cooper, and Tyler Higbee, or Alvin Kamara and Darren Waller?
I will take the Jones-Cooper-Higbee side of it. It's close, though.
Yeah.
Waller's old.
He's not old.
Yeah, he's like 29.
Yeah, he's not that old though. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to really evaluate him. He doesn't have a lot of wear and tear,
That's true.
Because he got started late.
I just don't love Alvin Kamara at all in Dynasty. I just feel like that's going to fall off a cliff at some point.
Okay, I feel that. All right. How much should I spend on D Cooks?
Whoa. Oh, Guillotine League. Yeah.
Dalvin Cook. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Guillotine League. Now, $92 left.
Yeah.
Chips Ahoy is a superior cookie.
Oh, Chips
Wow,
Ahoy. The only good Chips Ahoy is the red Chips Ahoy, the chewy, and it's still not even that
Those
good.
Are great.
Edamant's chewy way better. There's plenty of better chewy soft cookies, to be completely honest. And the Chips Ahoy blue, not good. Not a good cookie. Look, have you ever heard of Linden's? Linden's is so far superior hard cookie to the Chips Ahoy. Have you had? You know what I'm talking about? The yellow bag.
No.
You don't have that. That was like in every school lunch growing up. The Linden's, the yellow bag. No.
Any
cookie that doesn't give you that buttery taste is just a bad cookie.
I love Chips Ahoy. I love them.
Overrated at best.
But you don't. You know why Dan doesn't like Chips Ahoy? Because they don't have cream in them.
No, I just told you. I like Tate's is my favorite cookie of all time.
You like butter and cream. You don't like cookies.
Who doesn't like that?
Yeah, well, that's all you like. Just have a side helping of butter and cream.
I would, honestly, if someone served that and was socially acceptable. But as far as the guillotine goes here, look, I'm in a similar situation with both Cook and McLaurin on my Guillotine League wire. I'm not blowing the budget on either. I don't like either of their outlooks. I wasn't a Cook fan before the season. I explained why on yesterday's show. I remain that. Keenan Allen intrigues me a little bit for Guillotine. I'd probably go and I think given the injury, you won't have to spend as much. I'd throw like a 36 ball on Keenan Allen and see if you can scoop him up there. Maybe you can even go cheaper in the high 20s range. And I would pass on the other two.
Right, because you want to give yourself the opportunity to get Jonathan Taylor.
Right. The key thing about the guillotine is it's obvious. It's kind of like survivor leagues, the survivor pools, but you need money at the end because everyone's cheap at that point because there's fewer teams bidding and there's a lot of great players in the pool.
I drafted Herbert, Eckler, and Mike Williams. Which should I trade?
Herbert, Eckler, and Mike Williams. I don't like having that much stock in one team. I don't know why you then drafted them in the first place. But
Mike Williams. I'd trade Mike Williams.
Yeah, I guess. Sure.
Because it's not that I don't like Mike Williams, but Herbert's injured. Eckler's had two disappointing games. Williams just had an amazing game without Keenan Allen, so it might be the height of his value.
That's fair.
Thoughts on Jimmy Garoppolo with the 49ers and is he fantasy worthy?
Only in Superflex leagues.
Yeah. How many cavities has Dan had? Over under 5?
Wow. Morgan, the joke's on you. I just do the irresponsible thing and haven't been to a dentist in a long time.
Is that true?
Not that long, but longer than I wish to.
Dan, first of all, I have an update for you on the poll. We have dental insurance. Like, go to the dentist.
I know.
All right. Cream is
now. I don't love dentists. I had a great dentist growing up.
Oh, you don't love dentists? That's so weird because I love going to the dentist.
No,
it's like to me.
Well, let me just say this. I had a great dentist I trusted, and about 2 years ago, he retired. And that's been I haven't been able to get myself to go to some random dude or woman.
That's fine. I mean, but
no, it's not fine. I need to go.
Yeah, no, it's not fine. You're right. Cream is Cookie is making up some ground here. It is now 53% to 47%.
How was it this close?
We're getting there.
It's just
because we have adults. We have adults at the poll. Not
what do you mean? Me and Thomas were both very clear that it wasn't even really a choice.
You guys are young. Would you trade Jeff Wilson for Adam Thielen?
Cavity filled. No, I would not. I don't like Thielen at all.
We got to at least broach the subject, the possibility that Adam Thielen is just old and not good.
And done. Yeah, exactly.
It's possible because most of the last year was just last 2 years so touchdown dependent. Probably 2/3 of the time under 60 yards, and concerning start, I'd say.
Yeah.
PPR trade. Let Brandon Cooks and Jeff Wilson or David Montgomery. Okay.
Full PPR.
So would you give up Cooks? I would do it. I would do any of these trades, I think.
Oh my God. I would definitely rather have Montgomery and Amon-Ra.
No.
Oh.
It's Cooks and a running back for Amon-Ra.
Cooks and Wilson for Amon-Ra? Oh, or Wilson or Montgomery. Yes, I would definitely do that trade.
I would do Cooks and Wilson for sure.
General rule in fantasy, in my mind, and I'm sure Adam's going to think this is crazy too, is I always would rather the 1 in the 1-for-2 trade. You should always be going for the best player.
I mean, it's a truly ridiculous statement to say always. Like, what if I offered you Brandon Cooks for Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon? You're just going to take the one side of that?
No, because Aaron Jones is the best player in that deal.
Okay, so don't say always.
I said you always want to get the best player in the deal.
You didn't say that. You said you want the one side.
Yeah, because the one side is obviously always the best player in the deal.
It should be. Yeah, I don't agree with this. It triggers me when
he hates washed.
It's not washed. When did it become washed? It doesn't make any sense. It's washed up.
It's washed. It sounds good. It rolls off the tongue. You know, what was the other thing you didn't like? What was it? The abbreviation you hate? Like,
season.
Yeah. SCN. It's great. It looks great. It looks great.
Makes no sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
I don't like when social media gets to determine new expressions and things like that. I rebel against that. Would you trade Michael Thomas for James Conner? I have 3 better wide receivers, and I can only start 3, and running back is rough.
I don't hate it, but I don't love it because I'm kind of in the Adam boat with Conner. Look, Conner has a really lengthy injury history, and now he's already hurt. That could be an injury that lingers all year. It could be another one of those injured Conner years. So I just don't want to trade for Conner right now.
I can't like play the health card though with Michael Thomas.
I know. That's true. That's a good point.
In your specific scenario, yeah.
It's not bad. Yeah, I don't hate it. It's just
okay.
I wish there was another running back.
Okay. Let's see. Comment why if you're undefeated. That was from Schaefer. Go ahead, Dan.
Nice. Why?
Nutter butter is good. Nutter butter
is pretty good
cookie is good. But if it has some type of cream or butter, then Dan.
No, it's not even that. Look, if they just sold Oreos naked, let's say they called them Oreos naked, and this is how bad it is. They haven't even decided. Oreos has tried 1,300 different combinations of flavors and different unique things, and they still haven't tried a naked version without the cream. That proves my point right there, because no one would buy.
We go to the store, we buy the Oreo without the cookie. You just buy a package of cream.
No, like I said, the cookie is still important because it gives it that chocolatey flavor to mix with the cream, but it's just a complimentary piece, nothing more.
You would get such a tummy ache if all you ate was.
I know, of course.
All right. Carlton has DJ Moore, Hollywood Brown. Oh, you're 0-2. Pitts, Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
This is a shame. I mean, I like this team. You didn't do anything wrong.
I know. I'm a little panicky about out of all these guys, or there's 2. It's Pitts and DJ Moore. Baker Mayfield I've only seen 1 full game of his, but he was unbelievably bad against the Giants. Like, people think Daniel Jones is bad and these types of quarterbacks are bad. He was a clear cut level below that level bad. So that scares me about that whole offense. And then the Pitts situation is so freaking disappointing, Adam. I have so many. That's been my worst pick so far of the draft season. Way too much Pitts. And so I wanted that tight end advantage. And in my head, I kind of knew it was only going to be Andrews and Kelsey, but I'm like, Pitts is so talented he can get there, but they're just not finding ways to get him the ball. Yeah,
I'm still optimistic on Pitts. Moore, I'm thinking should have been more like a 4th or 5th rounder instead of a round 3 pick. Better days are ahead. My advice to you would be find a way to get Heath into this league and trade DJ Moore.
You could probably give him Pitts. No, he was a little down on Pitts. So,
would you start AJ Dillon against the Bucks?
I mean, I'd have to know who else your options were, but depending on, if you're, it's probably going to have to, yeah.
Look, okay. I don't care who your DST is. I don't care who my DST is when I set a lineup. Right?
Oh, he's saying because of that. Yeah. No, I definitely don't care about that.
Yeah, you shouldn't worry about that. Because you want Dillon getting the ball. You want rush attempts.
Yes.
You don't want Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball all over the place. He's probably not going to anyway. Because they're not going to score a ton of points probably if they're just running the ball a lot. And now you're less likely to get turnovers, but they've been fumbling the ball a ton. And actually, you're probably more likely to get a turnover that way than with Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball. So I wouldn't worry about that. Start your best options. They're probably going to run the ball a lot. Bucs run defense hasn't been good, and they just lost Akeem Hicks for a month. So I think this could be an okay game for A.J. Dillon.
Adam, Buccaneers, Packers, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. What do you think the over-under is for this game? Guess the over-under.
46.
41 points.
Wow.
Insane for a Brady Rodgers game.
I know. I was thinking about that. It's such
and
a.
I think it might go under. All right, guys, we got to get to 250 likes before the next question. Come on. Okay. We can get to 250, please.
Oh, yeah. 231. We got this.
19 more likes. We'll answer this one again. You got it in, Riley. You beat the buzzer. But the next question won't be answered till we get to 250. So what is this question, Adam?
Rank them rest of season. Sutton, DJ Moore, Christian Kirk, Michael Thomas.
Wow. Sutton, easy one for me. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I am. It's Christian Kirk 2. I feel pretty confident about it. DJ Moore 3, Michael Thomas 4. But I think after Sutton, they're all pretty close.
How come you don't like Michael Thomas?
Yeah, it's a good question. My issue with Michael Thomas is this. There are 3 major options in that passing game. And last week alone, Chris Olave had the 3rd most air yards in the history of air yards since they started tracking air yards. He has a major role. Jarvis Landry's in the key role, the slot. It's always going to be a read for Jameis when things break down. So there's just too many mouths to feed, and that was all without Alvin Kamara. Once he's back in the mix, there's even another mouth to feed there in the passing game. So it's really just a volume thing for me.
I have a very tough time ranking this because you don't want to overreact too much to 2 games, but I am tempted to put Moore last.
I know, me too. I was tempted to put him last.
Yeah, I have a hard time with the entire order. I think my top 2 are Sutton and Michael Thomas, and then Kirk and Moore. I can't believe that, but yeah, it's tough. Also, Riley, you asked that question 6 times in a row. No need to do that. Would you trade Jeff Wilson for Adam Thielen? I think we already answered that.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the last time we reward anyone who jams the chat up with six of the same questions in a row. Take that as a warning.
This is in reference to, but I agree.
That's a gross, Dan. Trying to think what that's in reference to. It's probably the me not finding a dentist for a little while.
Oh yeah, probably. Jeez. Do you know what this is from? You know what movie this is from? Do you like movies about gladiators?
Nah.
It's from Airplane. Arguably the funniest movie ever made. So you should.
The funniest movie ever made?
Yeah, it really is. What do I do with Travis Etienne?
No one's going to buy him at this point, so you just got to hold and hope for better days. I would sell him with a breakout, though. What did you just fire your hands up for, Adam?
Can't lose to the freaking Pirates at home.
The Yankees lose. The Yankees
I didn't lose. It's in the 6th inning, but it's ridiculous. What would you trade Antonio Gibson for in a standard scoring league?
Ooh, Gibson, because I like the idea to trade him before Brian Robinson comes back. Look for a receiver getting off to a slow start. That's what I would suggest.
Yeah, I think a DJ Moore would be.
Yeah, DJ Moore is not a bad option. Maybe you need to package one of your lower receivers for him with Gibson.
DJ Moore has been at his worst a low end number 2 wide receiver. I can't think. I don't think he's gonna have his worst season ever.
Probably not. Probably not. That Ben McAdoo offense is a disaster right now.
Thin golden Oreos are adult cookies. Thoughts?
Yeah, so the golden, again, this is the whole deal with the cookie. Why the cookie's important still for me. Because you need that chocolatey mix with the cream. The golden kind of takes that away. It's just not for me, so no.
Right, so obviously the cookie is the most important part.
No, it's not at all. Just a small compliment to it.
Traded Derrick Henry for Jalen Waddle. Did I overreact? Or make a good trade, half PPR.
You overreacted, but it doesn't make it a bad trade. It still could hold out to the point where Waddle remains more valuable than Henry over the rest of the season, as he has been for the first 2 weeks. So I don't hate it.
Rank these guys rest of season. By the way, do you know who Ned Flanders is? You know what show that's from?
That's got to be Simpsons, right?
Wow. The fact that it took you that long and you're not even sure about it.
I'm not. Yes. No, I know it's Simpsons, but I don't watch Simpsons. I know you don't like Simpsons. It's not that I don't like it. It's just not that funny.
Okay. I'm not even gonna like that. Just right.
Are you also a Futurama fan? That one I really think is.
Oh yeah, Futurama is very good. If you think it's better than The Simpsons,
no, opposite. I think it's way worse than The Simpsons.
Oh, I like Futurama.
Of course, it's like the same writer, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know, creator. But basically, the late seasons aren't very good. I hope you saw like the prime season. All right, half PPR, rank them rest of the season. Woods, Dotson, Shepard, Lazard. Lazard, Dotson, Shepard, Woods.
The only thing I might flip is Dotson and Lazard there, but they're the 2 clear top 2 for me.
All right. How about last week? I took my friend's advice and started DJ Chark over Drake London. Lost by 6. So now, get rid of that friend.
That was horrible advice.
PPR. Ayuk, Dotson, Sutton, Dortch, or Chark? Start one. Sutton.
Yeah, Sutton.
Yeah.
Does that mean he benched Sutton too for Chark?
No, I don't think so.
Luis, this friend of yours.
Yeah, he's not a friend. Friends don't let friends start DJ Chark.
No.
10-team league. This is his team. Should he make any trades or what?
Lamar, Mixon, Saquon, JJ, Justin Jefferson, Mon-Fri. This team is stacked, baby. No, don't even trade. Whoa, he's got Lamar and Kyler. What is going on with this team?
I would love to see you turn Kyler Murray into Travis Kelce or Mark Andrews.
Sure. Yeah, if you could somehow do that. Yeah. Goddard and Kyle. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And congratulations on your win. Wilson, Cousins, or pick up Goff?
Rest of season, I assume. Russell Wilson for me. Or I guess just for this. Is it just for this week?
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's going to be Wilson for me no matter what.
Sure.
Cousins against the Lions.
I know. I was thinking Cousins against the Lions.
I'm not picking up Goff.
Yeah.
Dan has not seen classic Simpsons.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have not. I've seen like a few here and there. I don't know. It's just I'm a Rick and Morty guy.
They have like 31 seasons, so it's very possible that you've seen just terrible episodes.
I don't think they're terrible. That's the thing with Simpsons. My take is not that it's terrible. I just find it a little like dry.
It's been terrible for the last 15 years.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Like Rick and Morty to me is way funnier show.
Good job, Luis. No, Rick and Morty is not.
I know
funny.
You hate Rick and Morty.
No, I like Rick and Morty. Very, very good.
You're not very high on it though.
It's not a relaxing show.
It's definitely not a relaxing show. Yeah.
Will have a better season, Derrick Henry or James Conner?
Who will have a better season, Derrick? Henry.
Yeah, Henry. Birthday cake Oreos.
Yeah, I think Thomas put that in the original poll. I've never had those, so I can't really comment on them. Oh no, I thought that was one of the options. I can't comment.
No, it was mint.
No, it was one of the original ones.
Yeah,
I put it in there to see like what kind of people
over original.
No, well, no.
Once again, Adam,
the original is kind of like an obvious thing.
Yes, I do, Freddie. Yes, I do.
I wanted to see what kind of people
you don't like Oreos. You like
yes, I do. Let me make this clear. When someone can prove to me that Oreos has made the decision to sell on their shelves the Oreos naked, just the cookie without the cream, then I'll be convinced that the cookie plays any role in this other than a complimentary piece.
About the cream. When they just sell the cream, then I'll be convinced. Adam, can I borrow a feeling? I will lend you a jar of love. I think that's what he says.
What's that from?
Simpsons. Oh. Trey Lance or Tua or Goff? Oh, obviously lost Trey Lance. Tua.
Yeah.
All right. Justin Jefferson for Sutton and James Robinson.
No, keep Jefferson.
Yeah. Irv Smith or Evan Ingram.
That's a good example, by the way, Adam, of the 2-for-1.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Irv Smith or Evan Ingram.
Pick up. Oh, for Schultz injury.
I'll go Irv.
I'm going Ingram.
Yeah, I mean Irv. 2 completely different games.
Yeah.
Higbee, Logan Thomas, or Mike Gesicki rest of season.
Certainly not Gesicki. I'll go Higbee for sure there.
You agree with this take? Rick and Morty have lacked the last few seasons?
Yes, this is a great take by St. Bo. Rick and Morty has dropped off. In reality, Rick and Morty was first season unbelievably brilliant. Maybe the best season of television comedy. Certainly the best cartoon season. Without a doubt. The first season was.
You've seen like 3 episodes of The Simpsons. You cannot say that.
You can't get more clever on a episode-to-episode basis than the first season of Rick and Morty. Second season, strong follow-up, not quite as good as 1, and then it starts to drop off for me after that point.
All right, and that's the thing. If you're going to take a show that has had 2 great seasons and put it ahead of The Simpsons.
And some very good ones until he's right. Really, it's only been the past few.
Yeah, well, you're crazy. Elijah Moore or Garrett Wilson rest of season?
Ooh, great question. So the funny thing here is like everything is going to change when Joe Flacco's removed there and they put in Zach Wilson. And Zach Wilson does have has the already built-in rapport with Moore, was targeting him a bunch in the training camp before he was injured. So I will go Elijah Moore, but I'm just not convinced that like the Jets are going to stick with Wilson this year, as crazy as it sounds.
All right, I'm gonna read 2 more. This one's just to get under Dan's skin.
I saw that smile. I knew it was coming.
Wait, no, not this one. Frazier is a billion.
What a joke, Frazier. How could you make a show about a guy just trotting around Seattle?
Wait, this can't really be Chris, right?
You have to have a very high. Oh, it is Chris Towers. That is his picture.
I don't know if that's like the most condescending comment ever, or a criticism of Rick and Morty. I don't know.
I can't tell right now through that comment if Chris is joking or not, and that's my favorite part. Because the theoretical, I think he's joking with the theoretical physics part. Also, it might be an homage. It might be an homage to one thing I said on like one of my first episodes of FFT when I was on, when I was like, you need a high IQ to. If anyone who says they don't like Curb and Seinfeld is, I didn't say they were lower IQ. I just said they don't understand it. So,
oh my god! Okay. All right, maybe that's what it is. Chris has a Rick and Morty tattoo for the ladies' eyes only. Wow. All right, last question here. Oh, it's a meme. Okay, good.
It's a meme. What's the meme?
Maybe
what Chris just said.
IQ thing, maybe.
Oh, it probably is.
Would you give up Fournette and Drake London to get Eckler?
Fournette and Drake London, and I get Eckler. I think I have to say yes based on what I said earlier, where I'm getting the best player in the deal. I do really like Drake London.
Yeah, it's a good trade, but I can trade for both sides. I would stick with Fournette and London, but it's a good one. Common Chris Towers W. Yes, very good, Chris. I was not aware of this meme of making fun of people who like Rick and Morty. That is good stuff. All right. Let's get it, Dan. That's been 100% true. All right, let's get out of here. Get the kids to bed, and we'll talk to you tomorrow morning on Fantasy Football Today with our Wednesday podcast. For Dan and Tom and the cookie part of the Oreo, I am Adam. See you later.